there is very little downside to having a mentor and so much upside to having a mentor that's kind of ridiculous. I've calculated this before. I've spent a little bit over $500,000 on mentorship over the course of my 20-year career. I know that sounds like a crazy amount, but I'm always looking for a mentor or mentors to learn stuff that I don't know much about, right? I want to shortcut my time to success. Hey everyone, welcome to Agent Investor. Agent Investor is the only brand that helps real estate agents get off the real estate roller coaster by selling homes, investing in real estate, and following what I call the Agent Investor model. The Agent Investor model is really simple. And as a broker owner of a brokerage with over 400 agents, we always recommend that real estate agents continue selling and sell real estate for a living. But we highly recommend that agents are on the prowl, on the lookout for fix and flip opportunities to generate big chunks of income, either by flipping the homes themselves or by partnering with us on fix and flip deals, and then utilizing those big profits, those big chunks of income as down payments on passive assets, whether it's an asset that you own or manage, or a syndication, because at the end of the day, if you're like me, when I was a real estate agent and I was selling homes, you're on what we call the real estate roller coaster, with your income always going up and down and up and down. And when we work with people, when we work with agents, we try to get people to set a goal of earning a certain amount of passive income every month, whether it's $5 or $10 or $15,000 per month of passive income. It won't happen, in just a couple of years, but over the course of time, or a course of 3, 4, 5 to 10-year period, you can earn $10, $15, $20, $30,000 a month of passive income from your real estate investment. So today's topic is one. I was actually driving in the car thinking about this topic, and I'm going to try to do my best to cover as much about finding a mentor and utilizing a mentor. But as I was driving, I was kind of mentally, preparing and making notes. And the more I thought about this topic, the more I realized that there is so much to cover when it comes to why you need a mentor, when it comes to finding a mentor or mentors, right? You don't have to just have one mentor. And then properly utilizing a mentor, because so many people run out, they get a mentor, they get a coach, and then they don't even take advantage of the stuff that their mentor and their coach provides. So I'm going to do my best to kind of lay the foundation and put together a blueprint. But first, I want to talk about why people in real estate, whether it's in sales or investing, but of course, what we focus on is the mixture of both, need a mentor. And real estate sales and investing is definitely unlike most other professions, where, if you're going to become a doctor or an attorney, or you're going to become a police officer, or name the profession, you're going to become a teacher, there's a blueprint that's already out there that lays out the step-by-step process of what you need to do to become an attorney, to get a job at a law firm, or to become a teacher, what credentials you need, what schooling you need, what books you need to read, etc. But when it comes to real estate sales and investing, it's really kind of like the wild, wild west. And when I first started, getting interested in real estate investing, most of you know my story, that it all started for me when I read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I thought, geez, I can read a couple of books and then I'm going to start implementing, and all of a sudden I'm going to be a serious real estate investor. And I found out, after reading countless books after countless books, going to seminars and trying to put things in action, that any time that I really got out there and I started to try to do investing, I realized that I really didn't know what I was doing. And for me, it wasn't until I got a local mentor in my own backyard that I actually did my first deal. Most of you know the first deal I ever did, 13 Cameron Ave in Somerville, Massachusetts. There was a listing appointment that I generated, went on the appointment, ended up fixing and flipping the home, and me and my two partners made $115,000 on that deal. But what I kind of don't talk about enough is the fact that I don't think I ever would have done that deal without the mentor. And my mentor not only helped me identify that it was a deal, but also kind of walked me through all of the steps from point A to point B. But even more importantly, gave me the courage and the push to do the deal. And actually, when I was thinking about doing that deal, my mentor said, "Hey, like I would, partner with you on this deal if you wanted to." And at the time, he basically said to me, he said, "I don't think you need to partner with me. I think you can pull this deal off on your own, but if you want to partner with me, you can." And he ended up giving me the push and my two partners the push that we needed. And ever since, and that was in 2008, and I had been trying to invest in real estate for 4 years, right? Just by reading books and kind of showing up to networking events, etc. One thing about mentorship that I think, just to give a perspective of why I think it's important, that a lot of people don't realize is like everybody's in a different position when it comes to real estate sales and investing. And you can read a book or you can go to a seminar and somebody can give you a piece of advice, but that piece of advice might not necessarily apply to you in your situation. So it's tough because what a type of property that one person maybe should invest in, another person maybe they shouldn't based on their situation. Again, when we're talking about investing in real estate, everybody who's listening to this right now has is a different age. They've been in real estate for a different period of time. Some people have done some investing, some haven't. Some are handy, some aren't. And everybody is different. So for me, when it comes to real estate investing, which is such a big thing, like meaning like if you screw up when it comes to real estate investing, you're not losing 1,000 or 2,000 or $300. You could be losing a good amount of money, which is, just another reason that in my opinion, you always want to have somebody over your shoulder. That 13 camera nap deal that I did, even though in hindsight it was a slam dunk, at the moment I didn't really realize it. And it took a mentor telling me that to say, okay, geez, this is definitely, a really good deal. Um, Mentors cut down on mistakes that you're going to make, right? I can tell you, like, if I did a podcast episode on all the mistakes that I've made in my real estate investing career, it wouldn't be 30 or 40 or 50 minutes. It would be hours on end. And I don't say that to brag. It's just the reality of the situation. When somebody comes in and works with me in my mentorship program, my goal is to help, eliminate those mistakes. You're never not going to make any mistakes, but you can learn from other people's mistakes and experiences and all that good stuff. And I find myself a lot of times when I'm working with my mentees, to me, helping them avoid kind of what I would call, obvious mistakes. The other thing that's critical when it comes to working with a mentor, and this is something that I say all the time to my mentees, is like the number one thing that I can help or a mentor can help you with is helping you determine how you should spend your time. Right. So we all have the same amount of hours in a day, and how you spend your time dictates what the outcome is going to be. Now, I know from my experience of doing this for close to 20 years, I know if somebody tells me that they're spending their time doing XYZ thing, I know what the outcome is going to be. I know if somebody is out there driving for dollars, I know what the outcome of that is going to be. I know if somebody does a mailer, I know what the outcome is going to be. So, helping people spend their time the right way so that they make sure that they hit their goals is important. And again, another reason for mentorship is to help not only define what your goals are, but to create a plan. And again, going back to the everyone is different, why does somebody need a mentor type of thing? Because everyone's goals are a little bit different, you can't go out and read a book. Like you could read a book. I remember I read, one of Donald Trump's first books, The Art of the Deal. And I remember thinking in my head, I'm like, I don't know if I could ever pull this kind of stuff off. And it was so far above and beyond what I was capable of. Well, maybe that was that was his goals. But, as a 20 something year old kid, those weren't my goals. I didn't having the ability to, get a casino together or anything like that. To me, it's kind of a no brainer. In my opinion, you're going to have a lot harder of a time. You're going to make more mistakes with your time and with your money if you don't have a mentor. Again, I could go um, on and on about why I believe people need mentors, but in my opinion, there is very little downside to having a mentor, and so much upside to having a mentor that's kind of ridiculous. And I put my money where my mouth is. I mean, I've calculated this before. I've spent a little bit over $500,000 on mentorship over the course of my 20-year career. I know that that sounds like a crazy amount, but I'm always looking for a mentor or mentors to learn stuff that I don't know much about, right? I want to shortcut my time to success. A few years ago, when we started transitioning our business into building apartment buildings, I realized I'm going to need to raise somewhere between $4 to $8 million a year. Now, I knew a thing or two about raising capital. I had done it in the past, but I needed to do it in a quicker fashion. So I said, okay, what do I do in order to shortcut my path? Let me find a mentor that's really good at raising capital and learn exactly what they do. So I've done that, throughout the course of my career, invested in mentorship programs that ended up making me more money than they cost. Now, not all mentorship programs cost money. Some mentorship programs are free. Your mentor could be your boss. Your mentor could be somebody that's a friend. So I don't want to say anything along the lines of you need to spend money on mentorship. You don't. But I do want to talk about kind of the gamut and why I think it's kind of important. So that's kind of to me the summary of like why you guys need one. I think everybody needs one. And again, I put up here the title of this like mentor, and then in parentheses the S. I don't believe that people should just have one mentor or one voice, because at the end of the day, um, even if you enter my mentorship program, at some point, you're going to exhaust what I know, right? Like, I don't know everything. Nobody does. Everybody has their own specialties. So I don't even just believe in having one mentor. I would start with one mentor, try to find the best possible mentor you can find out of the gate. But I think over the course of your business, you should be looking for more than one mentor. Okay, so um, let's talk about finding a mentor. How do you find the right mentor? What should you be thinking about? Let's assume that you're on board and you think it's a good idea. The first thing that I believe that a lot of people don't do when it comes to finding mentors is, number one, figuring out exactly what they want to do in real estate investing and sales. Um, Again, there is no one mentor out there. And again, getting back to mentors have different specialties. Like, you want a mentor that's an expert in what you want to do. So it's hard if you don't know what you want to do to find the right mentor. Um, you know, Certainly, like when it comes to real estate investing or real estate sales, if somebody didn't know their goals and they came to me, I could absolutely help them figure out what their goals might be or add some color to what their goals might be. Um, but it's a lot better if you kind of know exactly what you want to do. And I'll give you just a really, simple example. Let's say that for whatever reason you had it in your mind, I want to build, own, operate mobile home parks. Well, I could probably, talk about it in a very limited fashion. But the reality is, if you signed up under my program and then you wanted to learn how to do that, that's not my specialty. So I know that this kind of is a very simple thing. But again, years and years of experience, both being a mentor, being a mentee, just knowing that like I've picked wrong mentors in the past, not the mentor fault, but my fault of not knowing exactly what I was looking for. And then all of a sudden, 3 months in, I'm like, geez, this is not the right mentor for me because their base of expertise is not exactly, what I want. So I would clearly define, kind of what you want to do, because most people have specialties. Another thing that's important, and I know this It's going to sound simple, but it's extremely important. You want to find a mentor who wants to be a mentor. Now, just because somebody is where you want to be or has done what you want to do doesn't mean they want to even be a mentor, let alone your mentor. Okay. There's a lot of successful people out there that have no interest in mentorship, no interest in going out and helping other people. And there are successful people that are out there that don't want to share their knowledge. They actually believe it's going to create competition, and they would be very against mentoring somebody. So in general, like if somebody's not out there kind of saying that they're a mentor, you're going to have a tough time trying to randomly convince somebody to be your mentor outside of maybe if you work directly for somebody, right? Like if you have a W-2 job, you work under somebody, they may not think that they're your mentor in a way, but they are. So, but in most cases, if somebody's not out there saying, hey, I'm a mentor, I have a mentorship program, like they're probably not a good candidate. And the other part to this is that even though there are a lot of people out there saying that they're coaches and they're mentors, not everybody actually has done it, right? So you probably don't really want to be somebody's first, mentee, because coaching, like everything else in the world, you need experience to do it. Just because somebody might have had success doing something in real estate doesn't mean, out of the gate, they're going to be a great mentor. Doesn't mean they know how to help people. And I experienced that when I first became a mentor because I really didn't understand what it would take to help people other than just say, hey, if I can help you, I'll help you, I'll answer questions. So, but even one more step to that is like there's a lot of people out there that make money selling mentorships and make money selling coaching that don't want to even be coaches. It's going to sound, weird, but it's fairly common out there that there are people out there, they're basically just out there to sell the package, but they actually don't enjoy helping people and actually spending the time that's necessary in order to mentor somebody. And you'll kind of see that, if you talk and you ask about like what is involved in the program. Like I was in a mentorship program where the only access I had to talk to the coach was I could send them a voice note and they would respond to all of the voice notes once a week. And, I get why they did that because it's very time efficient and time effective on their end. But from the perspective of being a mentee who might need an answer same day, to me, I mean, real estate moves really, really quickly. That's probably not, great for the mentee, great for the mentor, great setup for the mentor. But that tells me that's more of somebody that wants to sell a coaching program than somebody who actually wants to be a mentor. You want to find people who want to be mentors. And the other thing that I think that's obvious that you want to look for is people that have had successful mentees. Again, it's one thing to have had success in a certain area of real estate, but do you actually have other coaching students that are out there having success, right? So one thing that I try to do a lot of, and I'm not perfect at it, is like when a mentee of mine has a success story, I try to post it, right? I do that, for marketing purposes, but you want to make sure that the people that are signing up have some level of success. Now, keep in mind that just because somebody signs up with a great mentor doesn't mean they're going to become successful because they might not do the work that's required. And that's very common as well. But if somebody's been a mentor for long enough and they can't point to a couple of success stories, you probably shouldn't be really a mentor at all. And it's probably not a good fit really, for anybody. So the next thing I want to talk a little bit about is the personality fit. So personality fit when it comes to finding a coach or a mentor, is important, but it shouldn't be kind of the overriding factor. So I want to just kind of like say this in general, like if you are looking for a coach or a mentor, you want to find somebody that can help you first, get the result that you want first. But you also want to try, if you can, try to find somebody that you actually enjoy talking to because you're going to talk to them. So if for whatever reason, there is a coach out there or a mentor out there that you feel can help you, but you absolutely would never want to talk to them ever, well, that's never going to be a good fit, because to have a great mentor mentee relationship, there's got to be communication. But I also want to flip that around a little bit, because I do sometimes see people making the mistake of finding a coach or a mentor that's like so much like them. Like, oh my goodness, I'd love for this person to kind of like be my best friend. And they like the person and they choose them more because they like them than the fact that that person can help them. So again, it's kind of a fine line. I would recommend looking first, can this person help me? And then a bare minimum of like, could I see myself like working with this person and talking to them and enjoying, working with them? They don't have to be my best friend, but all that kind of stuff. All right. So I want to talk a little bit about like the time of the engagement. So this is another thing that I think is really important. A lesson that I learned when it came to coaching and mentoring, and just something that I want to talk about is the time period that you get to work with the mentor. So I'm a big believer, and our mentorship, our inner circle program is an unlimited lifetime membership. Because when I look at, well, what am I trying to help people do? I'm helping people try to achieve financial freedom through real estate sales and investing. Well, that is not going to happen in a 6 to 12 month period of time. I don't care how good you are. I don't care how hardworking you are, et cetera. It's going to take a period of years, right? Minimum, probably 3 to 4 years, probably more like 5 to 10 to really get there and build up. And so to me, if somebody's capping the amount of time that you get to spend with them, like I would be questioning, like, whether or not you're going to be able to get from point A to point B. Like for me, when somebody comes into my program, I want to help them build a business and help them, earn 5, 10, 15, 20, $30,000 a month of passive income. And it just can't happen that fast. So to me, if I'm looking for a mentor, I want to be tied to a mentor that's not going to quit on me in 6 months or say, hey, our 12-month contract is run up, so we can never kind of like communicate again. And again, with our inner circle program, it's a lifetime, membership. Next thing I want to talk about is kind of like cost. And obviously cost is a variable. And it's tough, right? So a mistake that I sometimes see people make is sometimes they look for a coach based on cost. And I'm not going to say that cost, isn't a variable. It is a variable, but I would try as much as possible to find the right coach first. And yeah, the cost, is secondary. One thing that I did in my program, and I know some people that are listening are in it, and some people that are listening have gotten in for free. I try to make a win-win relationship, so I'm not necessarily, making money off of somebody just like paying me a fee. Like I've got 3 ways to join my inner circle program, 2 of which are free, and one is a paid way. Everybody gets the same, benefits. But for me, it was important to try to get as many people into my program as possible. So, but like I said, I've shelled out a ton of money on the other end. So I think the cost is kind of important. But, me as a mentor, I wanted to personally set up a program where people could get in, for free. And, if you want to learn, more about our program, you can jump on a call with me by going to www.partnerwithagentinvestor.com. Again, that's www.partnerwithagentinvestor.com. But most coaching programs, are going to cost somewhere between $10,000 and $60,000. So it, can be a big chunk of money. I did used to charge $60,000 for my inner circle program. I ended up, stopping to do that because I didn't like the fact that the me of 2004 and 2005 couldn't have afforded to get in. And I didn't think that that was like a good way to determine who should get help. But again, like that is what, some coaching programs are going to cost. And again, ours, we do have ways where people can get in for free. All right. So now that you've determined, what you want to learn about, maybe you've identified a mentor or two to talk to, the next step is to jump on a call with them. Now, there's a lot of bad practices when it comes to coaching and selling mentorship programs, et cetera. One of them is like the mentality that like you've got to get somebody's money like on the spot and you've got to swipe their credit card, like right then and there. So I would be very cautious if you jump on a call when you're interviewing a potential mentor and right out of the gate, they're trying to sell you. And right out of the gate, they're trying to swipe your credit card. If you jump on a call with a potential mentor, what I'd be looking for is somebody who's basically going to give you a free consultation right then and there, help you as much as they can in the 20 to 30 minutes you're on the phone with them. And I would expect that you would leave being like, holy crap, like imagine if I got more time with this person. If you don't feel like that, and they're just talking about all the bells and whistles of their program, and then at the end, they're asking you to swipe a credit card, I would run away as fast as possible because that just tells you what you're going to get when you're there, right? If all they care about is swiping your credit card and not helping you on a call, then what's it going to be like after they already have your money, right? So I would go in to a call with a potential mentor with a list of questions, not about the program, but actually about what your problems are right then and there and what you're looking to achieve. And I'd be asking them for feedback. A good mentor doesn't need an expert in real estate sales and investing doesn't need to be prepared to answer questions, right? Because they know, because they've done it. And so if you ask them for advice, how should I spend my time, or how can I get deals, or how can I raise money, or how can I do whatever you're looking to do, if they can't answer those questions on the spot, well, I mean, how are they going to help you once you get into the program? So I would interview them. And again, if you leave that call being like, geez, I got so much value out of that call. Imagine if I spent more time with them, then I'd be feeling really good about working with them kind of moving forward. I would ask them on that call how you should spend your time. Like tell them about your goals and how you should spend your time. And I'd be curious to hear their feedback, right? So that would be one of the number one questions. Another thing I'd be looking for in a program is, are you actually getting the person that you're looking to work with? Now, there are a lot of coaching programs out there where there's this person at the top, right? They're kind of the owner of the company or the CEO of the company, and they're the face of the company, and they're the person that gets you all excited to sign up. Do you actually get to work with that person? Again, if you don't, it doesn't automatically mean that the next person that they give you is going to be bad. But I would be very hesitant. Like, you better talk to the person that you're going to be working with and not get super excited about the CEO or the owner of the company if they're not going to actually be the ones that are working with you. All right. So now that we've kind of talked about how to find the right mentor, I want to switch gears because this is so important. Like, I want to talk about how you actually utilize the right mentor. But before I do that, I just want to, say again, if you guys have liked what you heard on the Agent Investor podcast, if you follow me, you feel like I provide value, you feel like I might be able to help you, make sure that you jump on our next call at www.partnerwithagentinvestor.com. Again, that's www.partnerwithagentinvestor.com. All right, so switching into like now you found your mentor, you're excited to work with them. Well, it's not over. Okay, again, being in this business, being a mentee, being a mentor, biggest mistakes I've made and biggest mistakes I've seen other people make in my mentorship program is thinking that the sign up is getting the result. It is not. So all that having a mentor is, in my opinion, is shortcutting your time to success and avoiding mistakes, right? Having somebody be able to tell you what you should be doing, how you should be spending your time, but now you've got to do the work, right? The fitness analogy I always like to give is like, you can find the best personal trainer in the world, but if you don't show up to the gym, you're not going to get in shape, right? So it's the same exact way with the mentor and with the coach. And too many people, just like the gym analogy, They go in, they sign up, and they think that that is the result. It's obviously not. And it's the same thing here. It's just going to cut down your time, and conservatively working with a mentor is going to allow you to get the same result you might have gotten in like 10 years, but it'll take you 3 or 4 or 5. That's what a good mentor can help you do. Shortcut your time to success. So how do you utilize mentors the right way? Well, the first thing, and again, a mistake I've made and I've seen other people make, is that they're too shy or they're not aggressive enough asking for help. Like especially if you've paid for a mentorship program, you better be out there like asking the right questions. You better be asking questions. You better be asking, how you should spend your time. You better be getting feedback on the stuff that you're doing. You better be asking the right question. You better be out there talking to your mentor. And I see this mistake over and over again. Now, with the caveat, like, don't waste your mentor's time for no reason. Ask them what you should be doing and then do it. You should really never be going back to a mentor until you've completed the task that they've given you to do. Most of what mentorship looks like is like, you're going to ask, how I should spend my time. They're going to give you stuff to do, stuff to build your business. And then you have to go out and execute on it. So you want to make sure that if a mentor is, asking you to do something, it's for your own good, and you're going to go out and you're going to execute. And those are the type of people that good mentors love working with. They love working with people who are taking the right steps and executing. Why? Because as a mentor, if somebody's listening to you and then putting the plan into action, that you're going to have success. Like, while I said in the beginning, like, there is no book that lays out the exact path on how to do this stuff, we're also not talking about putting a man on the moon. This stuff isn't that complicated. If you're doing the right activities, you are going to get the right results. I would also be asking your mentor, like, after you know what your goals are, I'd be asking them if you're on track. Like, hey, we've been working together for 2 or 3 months. Like, based on what I've done, this is what I've completed. This is what we've talked about. Am I on track? Like, am I on track to hitting my goals? Why or why not? What should I be doing? Can I do anything to speed up, the path to success? If I'm not doing the right things, why am I not doing the right things? I would also keep like a doc of questions and things you want to talk to your mentor about. Like, for our program, the Inner Circle program, I do give people 24/7, 365 access to talk to me when they want, but I also do a once a month meeting with people who are in the Inner Circle. So I would also keep a log of like, what are the topics that you want to address with your coach, with your mentor, and make sure like that you get a question, you get an idea, that you're writing it down. Maybe you have an idea on something you want to implement. How should you implement that thing, or what is it a good idea, et cetera? So biggest thing though, like I said, is like, so like, you got a mentor, you either paid for a mentor, or like through our program, there's free ways to get in. But regardless of if you paid or not, like, now you're in, utilize it and make sure that you're making progress every single day. When it comes to building a business, when it comes to real estate sales and investing, like, Rome wasn't built in a day, and consistency is the number one thing. If you consistently do small things, if you consistently do the right small things day after day, you're not even going to recognize where you are 1 or 2 or 3 years later. Biggest mistakes that people make is they get excited, like they just sign up with the slickest mentor they can find, and they get all excited. They get, wowed by, basically a sales and marketing thing. And then they sign up. They think they're going to get automatic success. They probably didn't hire the right mentor in the beginning. And then they're not on top of the mentor to make sure that they help them. Right. And, I can't stress enough, just like the personal trainer analogy, like, the personal trainer, the mentor, the coach can't do the work for you, but they can tell you exactly what you need to do. And again, that's really what mentorship is all about. So to me, like, there is no reason why somebody, wouldn't get a mentor. I mean, even if you don't love what we talk about, even if you don't love me, there are ways, like, if you can't afford another mentor, so if the mentor that you want is 20 grand, but you're like, okay, well, at least I can join Tom Caffarella's inner circle for free. You might as well do that, right? Start there, get some sort of mentorship. I mean, that's, the reason why we give free ways to get into the inner circle, because we want as many people as possible to have success. And it's really a win-win. I talk about this all the time. Like, my main objective for the inner circle it's a dual thing, right? Number one, I want to help you guys succeed. I want to help you guys make money. I want to help you guys achieve financial freedom. But I also want to do a bunch of partner deals with all the agents that are in my program. So me staying front and center of agents is going to help me do more partner deals. I've got a goal of doing 100, partner deals in the next 12 months with agents. So I've decided, a couple of years ago, I'm not going to charge a bunch of money. I'm not going to charge any money for people to join my mentorship program, but I am going to get a bunch of deals, because I'll just tell you guys, like, flat out, like, the truth. Like, when I used to charge 60 grand for my coaching program, I get 7 or 8 people a year that would sign up. Okay, so that's $400,000 to $500,000 of revenue. But if I can do 100 fix and flip deals, and the fix and flip deals average 80 grand per deal divided by 2, that's 4 million, right, for me. So we're averaging about 1 partnership deal per week right now. We love more people in the inner circle. We'd love to partner with more people. If you like what you heard on this episode, make sure that you jump on the next call with me, and we can talk about exactly how we could work together. Again, that's www.partnerwithagentinvestor.com. Mentorship is a super important thing. Even if you guys don't want to work with us, I hope that you do find the right mentor for you. We'll be back again, next week with more content. I appreciate everybody that tuned in, and I'll see you guys next week.